2024, what was the best moment on the podcast this year?
For me, it was crazy to connect with Kiefer Sykes, to be honest with you, just because I grew up as such a fan watching him, and then he reached out and was like, "Yo, it'd be awesome to have on the pod sometime." I'm like, "Dude, anytime," and they came up for that. So that was the first like real in-person guest that we've done. Fun for our transition and just growing this thing as much as possible.
I think so far my 2024 recap on Toonen and Dillon, I would say when we did Bob Menery, the podcast with Bob, just because of how thrown together it was.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, I'm here. Hey, hop on the pod. And then we just like filmed it. And then we ended up spending the entire day and night with it.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah. And then we were with Theo Vaughn, too.
Yeah,
which was
just
crazy.
like a crazy turn of events from doing the pod that just, you never really know what happens.
The podverse.
We're back. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to everyone from the Toonen to Dillon podcast. Will Toonen leading us off on the intro today.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Dillon. Yeah. No, it's busy time with the family and all that, but we really appreciate your time spending with us. So Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. And
thank you guys for joining us. And I do want to point out, this is a great time for you to share your love for the Toonen to Dillon podcast with everyone else you know.
Hey, what a Packers dub.
Yes.
Handled business.
Yes. Handled business. It was a huge win. I think Rashawn said it early on. Like, that's what great teams do. Great teams put away, sorry teams.
Yeah, the Saints were terrible.
They were pretty bad.
But we handled business. So
we did, as we should. That was a very interesting game to watch. I'm like, dude, this is like watching JV.
Did LaFleur just like close the playbook for the second half and just run base stuff?
I don't know what he did, but it was cool that like they told Josh, like, we go out there, we score, you're done. You got to save your star players for, the down the stretch.
Right.
Give him a little break, but it was awesome to see every single running back that was active yesterday scored. I was sick. Chris Brooks with his first touchdown. Emmanuel finally got his Lambeau Leap, which he came on the podcast and talked about. Obviously, Josh scored early. That was really cool to see, just the whole room getting a little Christmas love out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was fun to see a goose egg for the Saints.
Yeah, first one of the season.
Went crazy. Did you hear the crowd yelling "Coop" when he made
Coop?
We haven't had that since John Kuhn, man. I like when the stadium does that. It's always fun.
Yeah.
At first it sounds like a boo, but then it's like, nah.
Yeah. No, we were chanting something at one point. I didn't know what they were.
The crowd was hammered.
Yeah, they were loud. I loved it.
I don't think there was. I think there was one Saints fan for every 10,000 Packer fans. It was, I mean, that's kind of been an issue this year because that's always been Lambeau's thing of not being easy to get to or to find tickets, but now that everything's on Ticketmaster, it's easy. So there's a lot more away fans, but there were zero Saints fans there.
Great transition. Trying to plug Ticketmaster, you got insider deals.
Yeah, SeatGeek.
If you use the code down in the description,
all on Game Time.
Just playing. Yeah, no, it was a fun game, and it was cool to be down there on the sideline. The energy was good. You could just kind of feel. It was like a special feeling. Holidays, Packer win. Guys are jumping around, getting fired up for one another. It was cool. I was like kind of just, we were trying to hype up the crowd. I wasn't really paying attention. I caught a glimpse, and I was like, oh, shit, on the Jumbotron. And I'm like, all right, let's get into this. And then Jair comes over. He's like, let's go. So that was fun. Just kind of having fun still, obviously not playing, but still having fun with it, still being able to try to get some juice to the guys down there. Marry,
Kill for costumes or just like things worn in the stadium by fans.
Yeah.
You got your classic Santa.
Okay.
The Grinch.
Yep.
And Buddy the Elf.
Oh, I'd say for F, Buddy the Elf.
Okay.
I'd say Kill and Santa.
Damn.
Marry and the Grinch.
That's crazy. I'd probably F the Grinch. I'd probably marry Santa. And
then F the Grinch.
I'd kill.
No Buddy.
No Buddy.
They had a whole section.
And he's wearing green and yellow. I know. But the Grinch.
You're just a hater.
I'm just the classics. I like the classics.
You're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
Bro hates
you
it.
killed Santa. You killed Santa.
Yeah, bro. He's replaceable, bro. There's so many other Santas.
Dude. No, there's not.
Grinch became Santa at the end. Buddy the Elf knew Santa. Like Santa, like he's outplayed, bro. There's so many.
All right, whatever.
Santa. What's your favorite Christmas movie? That's a great transition.
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation, number one. Okay, well,
it's just a classic. That's the family's one, but I don't know. I watched Elf. I laugh at Elf every year for something new. Like there are so many scenes in that movie that are very funny. That's why I killed Buddy the Elf. What is yours?
My favorite Christmas movie is probably Christmas Story.
Yeah,
with Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
That's not a Christmas Story.
What? Like, which one's Turbo? Which one's Turbo Man?
Turbo Man. That's my brain is not working right now.
Christmas Story. No.
Like I thought a Christmas Story is the one with the fragile leg.
Oh.
And he gets the BB gun. That's a Christmas Story.
Which one?
Jingle All the Way. You're thinking of Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. Yeah, Jingle. Jingle All the Way is my favorite.
So, what was your thoughts on Enigma? We just watched that this morning.
Yeah.
You were in it. It was cool to see. Just some clips.
Touchdown to San Fran.
Yeah, touchdown against San Francisco in the playoffs. What's your take on all of that?
I think it's really cool anytime you can kind of see somebody's thought process, agree with it, don't agree with it, like things, don't like things. Like, you got to respect somebody opening up and just kind of seeing, at least you can see how they frame their opinions. Or, like, I think that's the coolest thing with, like, a documentary film the way it is. Like, kind of brings you into, a lot of his decisions, his decision-making process. And it's like, all right, well, at least you can kind of see how things ended up, or where they stemmed from.
I've always been a person that's like, I think Rodgers is just misunderstood, and obviously he puts a lot of thought outside of football too.
Yeah.
And, and also the whole thing with self-love, I think it's something that everybody can definitely learn from, of just be kind to yourself, and him finding that, and just him being on that stage at all times of, all eyes on me, and then winning the Super. I don't know. It was a great documentary. That was cool.
For sure.
It's fun to see the old highlights too, with like Jordy and Cobb and James Jones and all that.
And I think you hit up a good point, especially holidays and everything. There's so much family love and all that good stuff, but self love. You said it. It's self love and mental health, all that stuff. Like, he really took a lot of time, and you could see just a glimpse of like all the effort he took to just kind of get himself refocused and in the right mind state to, or right mental state to just decision make or just be happy or feel loved, stuff like that. And so whatever the process is, I feel like that's important for everybody. So yeah, I liked it. It was cool.
The way he's portrayed in that doc too, like that's how he's in the locker room too, right? Like that's just who he is.
I mean, I've never been a Rodgers hater. He's always awesome to me. Somebody I obviously looked up to on the football field. And I think he's super smart on and off the field, and it's always something to learn from him. So that was cool, and I'm excited. I had one of the guys who does like shipping for me at Dillon's Deals. Mm-hmm. He was like, bro, he's obviously longtime Packer fan, grew up in Green Bay, and he's like, I watched the Rodgers doc. It was like so cool to see, like what else like people don't see in the media, because I always forget that people didn't see like who I saw.
Right.
Like I was privileged enough to be in that locker room. So in 20 years, when Jordan Love's documentary comes out, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to be thinking of Jordan any different way than like my friend Jordan, who I know, or like my teammate Aaron Rodgers. But for people who never really got to meet him or saw him once across the street or something like that, it's like, wow, like this is who he really is. So I always forget that there's that layer.
Yeah. And Aaron always, the one thing that he did do was he always spoke like kind of cryptic messages almost in media, and the media grabbed so many headlines, and he was just such a, like, I don't know why they were out on him on just like putting a headline out there that he'd have to like readdress when he clearly stated what he meant in the first, it's just,
he is funny.
He is funny. He's funny too.
He's hilarious.
But the funny thing is though, is I do remember the local news reporting on him not stopping and signing a hat for or ignoring a lady with cancer. It's like, but the story was that he like spent like legitimate time with her in the past.
Talked to
there's
her
so many
and
people
signed
and
the jersey for her.
Yeah, and there's 300 people at the airport. I mean, you know how crazy Austin Travel gets on game days and
it
travel or whatever.
Yeah, people line that thing up. There's people. It doesn't matter like what time of day we get back either. Even like Christmas against the Dolphins. Speaking of Christmas, we played the Dolphins 2 years ago. Well, Rodgers last year. So
3 years ago now.
Yeah, sheesh. Well, regardless, we came back from the Dolphins game, and there's people on their Christmas day there waiting for us at the airport. We've come back from California and gotten back at like 3 a.m. and there's people there, like a family there just waiting for us. And so it's cool. We got a really cool fan base, but yeah, I mean, you can't stop every single time to sign. There's a lot of times the same people there, and also, you know, like you can't every single time.
You've been good about keeping them lock and loaded with the with your cards.
Dude,
you sign the cards.
I ran out, but yeah, I used to always I try to always have like some cards on me or in my car. If you see a kid like
in a
at
Dillon
Target
jersey,
or Hy-Vee or just like around the stadium, here's a signed card.
Goes a long way, man. Goes a long way.
We try. One of my favorite things lately has been, since I'm not playing, has been kind of the stuff they put on the Jumbotron.
Oh, yeah, the entertainment.
It's really cool to see Sarah's Gelato up there.
Yes, gotta love Sarah's Gelato up there.
And I think they did it the ad yesterday went up at a great point. It was right as they're showing like the weekly stat leader. So everybody's locked in. Everybody's trying to see that.
It's
and then
fantasy football implications.
And then bam, Sarah's Gelato. And I was like, very nice timing. But more importantly, the mini games on the TV, the attendance tracker, the Miller
race for the cooler. That's my favorite.
For the cooler. Those are great.
Yeah, I do. The race for the cooler. I'm always on Miller Lite. I think he takes last every time.
Bro, I lost yesterday. I was on a 2-game streak. That was my
genuine
highest streak.
draft.
I was trying to get to 3.
Yeah, they change it up every time too. It's not like you can just ace the test.
I know.
And they've been switching up the attendance tracker too, because the attendance tracker used to be a hack. It was always just the biggest one.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I mean, they did like the third.
Yeah, it was the third lowest.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
But yeah.
Or third highest. Yeah, third highest.
Yeah.
Second lowest.
Yeah, well, that's fun, man. And then, they did all the players, AI photos. There were some bad ones too. You guys, anybody get roasted for what they looked like on an AI?
Yeah, there's just Jordans looked crazy.
I didn't see Jordans.
Jair, I was next to Jair, and his went up there. He's like, "Man, that ain't me. That looked like me." I'm like, "Low key." He's like, "All right."
How's Jair doing, man? Everyone's wondering if he's like where he's at. One of our star players. Everyone loves Ja, you know.
Everybody loves Ja, man. I love Ja. I think he's I think he's good. I think he's he always has a smile on his face, ready to attack the day. He loves football, loves the Packers. So like, I think whenever he's ready to go out there, I think with him is like he gives it his all every time he steps on the field. So for him, I just feel like he's just got to go out there like. When he's ready, you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be, strapped. So like, man, I don't worry about any of that. I know he's a dog, and
I hope he's healthy for the playoffs, man. That'd be a huge added bonus because he is a certified dog.
Ja. Absolutely.
What's been like is there any motto going in the playoffs yet? Like is
motto
or any
6 wins, right? 6 wins in the Super Bowl.
6 wins in the Super Bowl, I think so. Yeah.
I mean that's not the motto yet, but that's all we need, right?
Yeah.
6 more. Wins.
Are you excited? I mean, this Vikings game is going to be awesome.
It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. It's that stadium's always loud too, but
it's away, huh?
Yeah, it is away.
I forgot that. For some reason, I thought these. Yeah, and then the Bears come here.
Right.
Yeah, I think like finishing up with the NFC North opponents is always a lot of fun. I think obviously both teams got a lot to play for. It's like seeding wise goes. It's crazy that 3 teams in the North are playoff bound. I wonder if that's probably happened before. You think?
Yeah, for sure it's happened. But if the Bears were better, we could maybe get 4. I don't know if it's statistically possible though to get all 4 teams in the wild card. Or all 4 teams in a division in.
I think everybody else would have to like completely shit the bed, like all of the conferences.
Yeah, and we'd all have to like split basically.
Yeah. No team can get washed.
Right, because and that's Yeah, well, the Bears are just getting dominated. But
every next year, like everybody should just make a point, like NFC North wide, like, hey, we're all going to split a game, and we're all going to get in the playoffs.
Just corruption within the North.
Be the first division ever to make everybody makes it,
and then we just sneakily just beat the Bears twice.
Yeah.
We just don't.
F that.
Yeah. We like, we'll take the L on this one, and just nah. Yeah, we'll just block their field goal or something.
I love that. That'll get you on the naughty list. Speaking of the naughty list, man, we got a little segment. Who deserves to be on the naughty list? What kind of people deserve to be on the naughty list?
I think people who just aren't thoughtful. I think is this what like just bothers us?
Yeah,
type of list.
I mean, we can just kind of go off on a tangent here. Like the example I had was like people who don't put the grocery cart back in the thing. They just kind of like leave it by your car.
I didn't know that was like people actually just didn't bring those back to their spots, the respective spots in different states. Like when we were in Florida at Publix, it's like there's shopping carts everywhere.
Yeah.
And I mean, if it's a windy day, I mean, that just mess up someone's car.
Oh, yeah.
That's terrible. Why wouldn't what's wrong with taking the 2 seconds and just putting the cart back?
Hey, naughty list.
That's naughty list. Yeah.
People who don't tip.
People who don't tip.
What's your thoughts on tipping? Tipping like when you go to
like a coffee shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like at a Chipotle or something, I'm not tipping over the counter stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not tipping like that. If I'm at a coffee shop and they're making me a latte or something that's a little bit takes a little bit more effort, and they're like bring it to me, then I'll tip them like 15%. But I mean, it's so like
I feel like everything has like, oh, do you want to tip?
Yeah, it's just turn away and just like put it. It's just terrible. I was somewhere and it said like the options were. I was at a bar and the options were 20, 25% or 30% tip.
Yeah,
I'm like custom
like,
tip. Like no, like that's terrible. And the service was terrible. So it was like, okay, where's the integrity?
And the other thing is like, what about like Uber Eats and stuff?
The Uber, the DoorDash driver.
Because that's their.
What about just Uber? Do you tip your Uber driver?
My Uber driver?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, see, like
I don't think I've ever tipped the
Uber driver. Yeah,
I don't ever do the reviews at the end. Honestly, like if I get to my place, I just kind of close the app.
Yeah, same here. But yeah, I don't understand. I feel like a taxi service is always
I think that's just
like that's the fare to get me to my destination. Yeah. Why? What's with the extra stuff? Unless you,
I don't think I've ever tipped.
Unless I puked in your car. Yeah, no,
yeah.
But
I've tipped. I always. Honestly, I always just lazily just like pick whatever like the medium option is on Uber Eats and just like, all right, whatever. But
yeah.
I probably should custom tip it and go low. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
that's a tough one.
It's tough. And another thing too, it's yeah.
So do we belong on the naughty list for not tipping our Uber?
Yeah, driver? I don't know. I would love to learn people's takes on this because I'm generous. Like if it's great service, like I'll definitely tip heavy. You know, it's. I'm a big believer in that, but if it's just kind of an expected thing, where's the integrity? What's your all-time favorite Christmas present?
All-time favorite Christmas present? Probably like if I'm just gonna gauge time spent with the present, I'd say like a PlayStation, like a PS4.
Oh, the PS5? Yes. Oh yeah, dude.
Well, the PS4, like I was ripping PlayStation 4 when that came out.
Yeah, and then. Yeah, the Xbox when I was a kid, or no, the GameCube when I was a kid was for sure. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta play Mario Kart all the time.
Tell us what you gotta do. What's your Christmas Eve to-do list?
I gotta go pick up a gift. Apparently, another white elephant for the in-laws family. I just found out about. I gotta do some laundry for Chloe. Chloe works. She's worked 9 days straight.
Sheesh.
Because at the jewelry store they're. Busiest time is
they're booming right now.
Business is booming, which is great, but they have to physically be there, and it's not like an online sales thing or anything like that, or they can just send an email.
Yeah,
they have to be in the store to do the sales, and so she's been working nonstop Saturday, Sunday. She was open on Sunday yesterday, and then she's working today, and then she's got Christmas off, and then on the 26th she's right back to it.
Right to it.
Yeah, but then she takes we'll take a good vacation in January. Which
Where are you going?
We're going to Belize, which will be really cool. Yeah, Chloe's family's got a condo down there, and actually my uncle has a condo on the same small island in Belize, which is super. ironic because I think they're the only two Wisconsin people that's
Down
like ever
there.
been there. Yeah.
What's your you've been there before, right? Once?
I have, yeah. I've been there twice now.
Okay.
Which is,
What's your like favorite thing?
it's the water there is as clear as it can be. It's like 85 and sunny all year round. Well, it gets hotter there, like in the summer,
of
but
course.
But I mean, the water is crystal clear,
It's crystal clear.
crystal clear, teal blue. Like it's gorgeous. So it's very, very fun.
Have the Packers ever lost a game while you've worn that watch?
No, actually they haven't. Now that I think about it, I switched it up. Breitling. This is a Rumley's piece. Breitling Packers watch. Big fan of this. But yeah, this is it's been a nice little good luck charm.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it. You keep checking the time, so.
Well, I'm like gotta get moving. Dude.
Bro's got a trip to Belize in a couple of days. Bro.
It's like 4 a.m. last night.
Yeah, 4 a.m. thinking about the podcast.
Yes. Yeah, we should just we forgot the recording stuff. So
I got to build some toys for Trey.
Okay.
Today.
Yeah. Is he noticing Santa or what's going on? Or
yeah, he knows Santa. He knows like.
He knows ho ho ho.
Yeah, Santa goes ho ho ho. So. You point to him. I'm like, "Where's Santa? What does Santa say?" He goes, "Ho ho ho." So he knows. I don't know if he'll really know what to do with the presents. Last year he was such a baby, so he couldn't really tear. But now I just think he's like, I think what he's gonna do is to open the first one, but then he's gonna be mesmerized by that first one,
right?
And like nothing else is gonna get open,
right?
So it's like, honestly, I feel like you should just give him one toy a day. So
celebrate Hanukkah with him.
Yeah, just spread it out.
Yes.
But yeah, I know your mom's got some cool gifts for him, and so I'm over early to.
I got him a slide.
Go ahead and put that together. You got him a slide?
Yeah.
Should I tell you what I got you?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'll open it later.
Yeah, that is true. Gifts early because you got your Christmas. Yeah. We're gonna do Christmas at our house, but we got family Christmas today on Christmas Eve.
It's a great time of year.
I hope everyone's Christmas was fantastic. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Well, it's after Christmas.
Yes,
so
yeah.
More so, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you'll see us next year.
Damn. 2024, that's a wrap.
All right, man. Let's give a little 2024. What was your best moment on the podcast this year?
For me, it was crazy to connect with Kiefer Sykes, to be honest with you, just because I grew up as such a fan watching him, and then he reached out and was like, "Yo, it'd be awesome to have on the pod sometime." I'm like, "Dude, anytime," and they came up for that. So that was the first like real in-person guest that we've done besides Tommy, which Tommy's always fun too.
Yeah.
But like having the whole studio set up and everything, it was it's been fun for our transition and just growing this thing as much as possible.
That's sweet. Shout out, if you guys have not already, make sure you go check out Kiefer Sykes' episode here on Toonen to Dillon and everything he's doing with his foundation. I think so far, my 2024 recap on Toonen to Dillon, I would say, I think like when we did Bob Menery, the podcast with Bob, just because of how thrown together it was.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh, I'm here. Hey, hop on the pod. And then we just like filmed it. And then we ended up spending the entire day and night with it.
Yeah, right.
And it's just a fun podcast moment.
Podverse. Like, and then we were with Theo Vaughn too.
Yeah,
which was
just
crazy.
like a crazy turn of events from doing the pod that just, you never really know what happens.
The Podverse. That's crazy.
That's sick. But hey, Happy New Year, everyone. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Thanks so much for tuning in to Dillon. As always, like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you next year.
Thank you, guys.